hear that across all of the SEN network. A pivotal figure in that will be the New South Wales Blues coach, Michael Maguire. I'm happy to say he's on the line. G'day, Madge.
Hey, Jimmy. How are you, mate?
Mate, I'm really well. More to the point. How are you? How was the press conference in Federation Square? How'd you shape up the Billy Slater, Madge?
No, it was all fine, mate. Obviously a decent crowd there too, actually. Yeah, it was good. Jimmy, we sort of obviously, had our say, and we're looking forward to the game now.
All right. What is it about this thing that they call Origin, the arena, the intensity, the scrutiny that has surprised you most as a coach, Madge?
Probably, I guess you start to really feel the enormity when you're really deep inside of what goes on, and then the passion that people of New South Wales actually have behind the team. Everywhere you go, the support has been, really positive, and they can see that, the team's pushing forward to try and be successful. Albeit we missed our opportunity there in Sydney, but I think everyone could see that the boys had a red hot crack in the circumstances. In any game it's hard playing one man down, but in an Origin arena where you've got the smarts of an opposition coming at you, picking off the numbers, I was pleased that the players fought the way they did and proud of them, but also too knowing that we've got a big game tomorrow night and it's a must-win game for us.
Yeah. How did you deal with that game one? How did you review that game one to start this camp, knowing that there were a number of new faces in that side, Madge?
Yeah, the players themselves, very honest around the game, and I guess in some way it's a good game to review because everyone had to work extremely or at a higher level because of the circumstance. So, they judged themselves off that, and there were some opportunities in the game where, if we capitalise on a few things, we may have put ourselves in a chance to winning it. So we took various positives out of it. We also looked at how we can improve as a team, and they've definitely done that this week, especially the last sort of 8 days, I should say, that, with obviously players coming in of experience through Cam Murray, Latrell, Mitch Moses, and the excitement of Connor Watson. It's a subtly different group, but the first group that we did have has built a real good platform for what we're trying to achieve.
Yeah, so you might have answered it in part there, but where, why? Why did New South Wales improve going into this game too?
Well, you look at the players that I've been able to bring in, Jimmy, it will be whether some were injured and some were trying to find their form. I think that's the part that the guys that I have brought in, like Mitchell Moses, played in the successful third game last year, so he brings a lot of confidence from what he achieved in that. Latrell, he's in a really positive mindset at the moment, and I've got to say I've really enjoyed coaching him and having him in the camp. Cam Murray, he speaks for himself, where he's a leader. He's been at every part of the game, so I guess that is the subtle differences of what you bring to the guys that are now, who, the selection of some of those players weren't available. That's just the truth. And obviously now, we're moving forward with the team we got. And I think the fact too, Jimmy, that, a lot of the players now understand, myself and my coaching group, how things move and manoeuvre around the camp. They've taken it upon themselves now to really own what we're doing.
Yeah, so 4 of the players that have been brought in were unavailable in game one. One was available, but you didn't pick him, and now you have. His name's Latrell Mitchell. What has he brought to the camp? And on the back of that, it's going to be the sports photo of the year thus far, that one sitting down at the South Sydney Premiership reunion with the thumbs up with you and Latrell Mitchell. So what does Trell Mitt bring to the Blues?
Well, I think everyone knows when Trell's at his best, he brings a lot of confidence and inspiration and in all the little things that he does. But, the players are aware that he's one part of the cog that makes us tick. And, Latrell's jumped into the centre spot and he's, definitely added to that left edge in the things that we can do. But we also know we have to earn the right, as a team to be able to do the things for Latrell to be able to be himself. So, look, as I said, I've really enjoyed coaching Latrell. He's come in and I guess he's probably experienced different times throughout his time in the jersey, but I can see he's really comfortable, and the boys have got behind all those guys that have come in, and we understand what we need to achieve.
Who's going to be doing the goal kicking, Madge? I believe it's down to Zach Lomax and Latrell Mitchell.
Yeah, between both of those guys, but Zach's the front man at the moment, and but they're both very good, and either one of them can, but Zach will probably take the role at the moment.
Madge, who's the player in this New South Wales side that maybe surprised you with just the way they go about things? That maybe as an outsider looking in, if we knew them like you know them now, that would surprise us?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think Liam Martin. I think everyone can see the toughness of Liam Martin, but
Yeah.
he's a player that everyone wants to play with. And you can see why. The way he conducts himself around the camp. And I've got to say, Jimmy, they've all been really good. So, but if you had to pick one, I guess Liam's probably the one that Jerome Luai.
Yeah.
He's been very good. I think. I really enjoyed sitting down and listening to how he breaks games down.
Right.
So he's actually a real student of the game in the way he sort of sees it and how, being able to build pressure. And he's been in such a good system, so he's coming from a pretty good place to understand what brings success to a team. So that's a couple for you.
Yeah. Madge, will New South Wales target Reece Walsh tomorrow?
We're aware what they all are capable of doing. This targeting business is the fact that you need to nullify someone's qualities, and unfortunately, Joey being 6'5" and Bruce being a bit shorter, he just was literally probably an inch too high in that circumstance. But it's not about targeting someone. You've got to nullify what's coming at you, and we're aware of what they're all doing in the opposition, because that's part of what defence is all about. There's two sides of the game, attack and defence, and you've got to make sure that you know what the opposition are doing.
Were you able to understand, were you a little surprised why no Selwyn Cobbo? And do you think the named 17 will be the 17 that play tomorrow?
Well, if anything was, what we said there today, it sounds like it's going to be the 17. But look, whoever they put out there, we're very aware of what they're all capable of doing, but also too knowing what we can do, and that's a big thing. We talk about what they may have, but it's also what we have. That's what I'm really pleased with. And someone like Reece Robson, he showed that he's an Origin player by what he did. I mean, he played 80 minutes in the middle, and you've got to remember we were down a man, and he was right in the middle of the field, and he was able to look after himself and look after his teammates, through that time where the game was, up and about. So, it's I think we've got a pretty big focus on what we're about and what we need to do.
Yeah. 50 tackles with one miss, I think, for Reece Robson in that first game. And yet, interestingly, you're probably going to ask him to play less. How do you anticipate getting Connor Watson into the game?
Yeah, well, I'll look at how that first half rolls, and depending on what I sort of see through Reece and what he's doing in that first half, whether or not I stick Connor in at 9. But one thing with Connor, he's flat out, and he's definitely shown that in what he's done over his time with the Roosters, where he can just speed a game up. And once you get fatigue in, Connor will be electric when he gets on the field. So it's just picking the right timings when you put him out there.
Are there parallels to what happened with the Kiwi side last year, Madge? You were beaten by the Australians 36-18 in Melbourne. A week later, you beat them 30-0. Is that something that you've looked at and reflected about over the course of the last 10 days and thought about the way that played out?
Yeah, definitely, Jimmy. I'm always appreciative and thankful for what the Kiwis gave me and the time coaching them. It was an incredible time of my life for coaching the Kiwis, and to sort of see that, I guess what the Kiwis went through in that first time against Australia and turn around, and I've definitely called upon that, and through experiences you get a feel for an understanding of a team, and they were able to show me that. So I'm definitely calling on everything from that time as a coach.
Yeah. Well, from all the listeners south of the Tweed, we wish you all the very best tomorrow, Madge. Everyone else, who cares? Go get them tomorrow and have a win, and let's go to a decider.
Thanks, Jimmy. Always love your support, mate. Thanks.
There he is, New South Wales Origin coach Michael Maguire, and that is, he's in the heart of it, isn't he? Talking about the intensity and the scrutiny that comes with State of Origin coaching, and don't worry about the pressure either. You're at the MCG. There's 90,000 fans in attendance, and you got to win. Otherwise, the series is dead. So that is absolutely huge. So great to have Michael Maguire on the program.